Hello, welcome to When Saturdays Come With Me Dry Bright. Hope I find you all well and we're recovering from last night's performance against Birmingham City away. And I must have watched Gus Hamer's goal about 20 times. Absolutely fantastic goal, wasn't it? I want to treasure for him and for all the fans as well. Could take some beating that all for the rest of the season, for goal of the season, no doubt about that. But today we move on. Ruben Sayers did an interview, his presser before the Swansea game with Adam Oxley from Radio Sheffield. And to be fair, Adam asked him some great questions and he was straightforward in his answers. And I'll try and give you best I can. I'm not going to go into it all. I've wrote a brief down of it on what he asked him. I'll give you an outline on what he says, but I'll put the interview on after I've finished on here and you can watch it at your leisure. And it's about 13, 40 minutes long, which is relatively short. What we're not used to with Chris Wilder's presses, which used to last about 30 minutes. So it was quite welcome that we had a short but straight interview, straight presser, gave the right answer. So we'll go straight into it. And I've asked him, clearly, was he disappointed from what how the team played and what did he learn from it last night? And he says it was a lack of competitiveness during the game. And it's still very early on in the journey with the team at the minute, but he obviously very concerned about the lack of competitiveness and the way they played last night. It says, were you concerned about the unforced errors? Yeah, of course he's concerned about it. It's a valuable preparation for some of the players. He says he felt that the younger ones needed support. Obviously, the younger ones, when they are learning the trade, and they do make mistakes. You've got to be patient with them. They are going to make mistakes along the way, but it's disconcerting when you make a mistake after 5 minutes and you're not back burner straight away, aren't you? You're pushing straight away to try and get an equaliser. So he said he is obviously concerned about it, but you've got to support the younger lads as well. But he just going that into a bit more detail as well. They need time and patience, and the expectations from the team at minute. It is what it is. So. And he was obviously referring to Davidos on that. He says you need to understand he's going to make mistakes. They're going to happen. It is too early in the game to make mistakes. We have to give time for the talented players like David. We have to stay calm and work with them as the process goes forward. So he gets it, he understands it, but it don't make it for a fan point of view. We understand that, but when we're watching it, we cringe at it when it does happen, and we watch it on telly or live when players make mistakes. That sometimes we do forget how young they are and they're learning the trade under the pressure situation that they're in. But it's a learning process, and they have to learn. If they don't learn, they're not going to last very long, are they? That's the thing on Robbo. He says it is a worry to try and contain your emotions in the game, especially when it's what happened. He says he's trying to try and remain calm. He's not had a word with Robbo yet, but he's got to make sure that Robbo don't repeat it. And it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, I ain't got any sympathy for Robbo. I mean, he's an experienced pro. He's been there, done it. He's captain of our club, and he should know better. As far as I'm concerned, he shouldn't be supporting these young kids, not setting any, and he should be setting an example, not effing and jeffing at linos when we've all. I don't know if you've all seen it. I've all seen it, and I've watched it a couple of times, and it's not acceptable. And Robbo's got to get his head into gear and get his head a wobble, and he should do, because players and fans are relying on him to put in a good performance and staying calm. I know he's competitive and I know he gets stuck in, but he loses it sometimes, doesn't it? And it don't help him, it don't help the club, and it don't help the younger players either. So I hope Robbo does adhere to what Ruben says is going to tell him, and we can argue that he wants away. Whether he does or not, we'll find out in due course, won't we? If or when we get players in. He went on to say then, you have to bear with me, I did write all these notes down because there were quite a lot of questions. On Hamer as well, obviously he was talented, he was a brilliant goal. It was a genius thing to do. And the team's got to try and support him as well, and as well as giving every opportunity to play it and score them goals like that, and put him into positions where he can make an effort and score them goals. He was Player of the Year last year in Champs, and he's obviously a talent. So he went on to talk about reinforcements. He says, our process on the transfers has not been good. He says he takes some responsibility for that as well. It's just not been good enough. It's obvious that it's not been good enough. We've let 5 players go, and everybody has to take responsibility for that. There's no update for anybody coming in before the weekend, and that's the way it is at the minute. And again, I think he expected people coming in this week. I think he referred to it the other day. He expected a couple of players coming in, which obviously it's not transpired. Some of it's regarding visas as well. So they're making no excuses for Saturday. They're going to rock up and they're going to do the best and do everything they can to win the game on Saturday for fans who go down there. But generally, it's about the visas as well. It's all part of it. So I guess they're working it background. If we're alluding to somebody coming abroad from abroad, then they must be having a problem with a visa or something like that. He says, "Do you feel let down?" Adam Ox asked him, "Do you feel let down?" He says, "I have to be brilliant. The team has to be brilliant. You have to be patient. In the next 48 hours as well, we've got to get prepared for Swansea game. So I have a job to do. I don't want to feel sorry for myself. We need everybody to be competitive on Saturday to get a result." Again, I'm only paraphrasing what he said, but I don't disagree with that any of that. He says the players coming in. Adam asked him this question: do the players coming in, do they have to be championship ready? We need players who are ready to go to help the younger players who come in. So yeah, the answer to that is yes, they do. They need people who are experienced, ready to go. I mean, I said this before the other day. If you want players to come, if you've got any ambitions whatsoever to get promotion, you've got to get experienced championship or above players to play at this level. It's no good all right, this AI system and this tool and all that stuff to buy a player, it's part of a process of buying a player. But our spine of our side's gone. We've only been replaced by Samari. Nobody else. We're desperate for defenders, aren't we? And I've been saying this for a couple of weeks, and they're not going to listen to me. It's only my opinion, but nobody's coming out at club to explain what's happening. I've heard little rumours that Steve Bettis might come out and make a statement. I don't know whether he will or not. That's never been firmed up to me at all. Whether he will or not, we'll wait and see. But it is poor. Whatever. I just don't. I can't get my head around why they've let probably 5 players go out at club now, and we want to replace them with potential players using this AI system. Samari looks a decent player out at Bunch. Yukaki looks quite useful out on right, but the rest of them, we've not seen anything of them as yet. And if they fit future, they fit future. But we need players of experience now, ASAP, to play at this level. Because if we don't, we're going to get battered. Teams are going to know that. They already know what our weaknesses are. So they'll be banging into that straight away. They'll be on us straight away on Saturday, Swansea. They'll know what our weaknesses are, and it's the inexperience on these young lads who are coming in, like Biden and stuff, Binden or whoever it is. David. they are inexperienced players, the young inexperienced players. Even Sariq is still a young lad. Do you know? So we need that recruitment process to crack on, don't we? On Samari, he says he's a number 6. He can play. He can definitely play. He can play with the players. He can get up and down pitch, which is right. He can. He's got a good left foot on him. I was quite impressed with him the other night. I think he faded a bit towards the end, which I guess he will do. It's the first 60 minutes he's had. But I would certainly be playing him on Saturday without any doubt. Who will leave out is anybody's guess. I don't think he'll leave Hamer out, especially after last night. He could argue whether it be O'Hare or Peck. For one of them, one will drop out for Samari to play for at least 60 minutes again. He does get stuck in. I mean, he didn't mess about with a couple of tackles that I saw. One were quite nasty, actually. I don't really like to see that at all. I like players to get stuck in, but fairly, rather than going in from behind and taking people's back of the legs out or the feet. It was a bit of a tough tackle. But anyway, it is what it is. We'll see how he progresses. But, he's a bit in the Vinny Sousa mould. He will get stuck in, and that's what we like to see, don't we, as Blades fans? On injuries, it's just a normal 3 out, as we always have been alluding to in the past with Blaster, Davies and Shikes. So they're the 3 long-term people who are out at the minute. We're expecting a tough game down at Swansea. The ultra-competitive game, they pressed quite high, and they're gonna do all the best they can. He says, how big would the win be? Adam said to him, how big would the win be? He says, we're going first and we're going to go there fighting with everything we can do to win the game. Which is right. That's what I expect every game. Every game. The pressure's on a little bit, isn't it? I know we've had a really rough start. We've got to look at it. We've only had 2 games. 1 league game, 1 cup game. For the league game, we were drastically short of defenders at back. I'm not going to make excuses for performances, but we've got to take it as it is and understand where we are, and we are short and we are light at back, and we need desperately 2 or 3 central defenders to come in along with a right wing. I feel. Obviously, last night there were 10 changes. Birmingham made 6 changes, as much as Birmingham deserved to win. We were really light. I thought we competed in patches, not until we equalised. We looked a little bit better and we made changes. When Gus came on and Pecky and Campbell, we'll obviously look better. We're bound to look better. We're bringing them on, aren't we? But we've got to write this game off ASAP and move on quickly and just learn. Hopefully people learn from the mistakes, especially David. And I'm sure he will. I mean, I don't want to be too harsh on him, on any young players, because it is a tough environment out there when you're a young lad. But if you're going to be a professional footballer, that's what you're up against. It's no good saying whinging and whining and moaning. If you want to be a pro footballer, you've got to get the basics right, and you've got to stop your silly mistakes early on and get them out of your system. And they're the games. If you're going to make a mistake, they're the games to do it in these cup games or whatever it is. But I put Ruben Sayers' interview on. You can listen to it at your leisure. But I did agree with everything that he said, actually, nearly everything that he said. He's taking responsibility on the transfers and stuff like that. Obviously, they can't let it happen again. Players going out without anybody coming in. It's been an absolute nightmare to let players go out, especially the likes of Anel and Sousa and more, and you don't get any replacements. And they're 3 experienced players, whether you like them or not. They're hard to replace, aren't they? So look, thanks for watching. As always, thank you for your comments. I really, really appreciate it. I will be doing some more live stuff. I did another one. Thank you for people who commented. I said the other day, try and be a little bit patient with me just till I get this sorted out with the portraits and landscapes and other little bits and bobs I'm trying to learn about. It's a different take when you're doing something live. It's different than when you can do something like this where it's recorded. and I feel a bit more relaxed when I'm doing this, and I can edit it out if anything's not really how I want it to be. Generally, I do leave a mistake in, but when you do it live, it's live. It is what it is, and it's a different format, and you're up there to, people come on and comment, and I will get used to all that, same as I got used to doing all this. But I'd like to do it in a certain way. I might need to take a bit more advice on it, on how to do it. Set up a time when I'm going to come on a regular basis or whatever, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, or evening, or just after a game. I can do a 10-minute live broadcast, and you can jump on at any time you want and have a chat or put your comments in. So, look, thanks for watching. If there's anything we need to talk about, obviously, unless there's surprises with any changes on transfers and stuff like that, let me know. I'll let you know, and I'll come on and fill you in and let you know what's happening. But what is it, Friday tomorrow? So the lads will be going down to Swansea tomorrow, and I'll do another report or video or something live on Saturday after the game. I'll be looking forward to watching that. Let's hope we can love to get a result down at Swansea, just to calm everybody down a little bit, to change the change the narrative a little bit, get a win. There's been bits of meltdowns and it should be sacked and we won't do this and we won't do that. I've had some great comments from Birmingham fans as well. They understand where we are. Some of them, nobody's been negative about Sheffield United at all. They know that Sheffield United at some point are going to turn it around, and I believe that we will as well. So look, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe as always. I look forward to reading your comments, and I'll speak to you again. Hopefully, if there's any more news or after the game on Saturday against Swansea. Up the Blades. I'll speak to you soon. See ya.
Clearly a disappointing result last night. What did you learn from your team and from the performance?
Well, it was disappointed. We were disappointed. I think more than the result. That yes, once we get the 1-1, we should keep that. I think some of the situations in the first half and our lack of competitiveness in some of the moments were things that we detected yesterday as a team, as individuals. We knew some of the moments can happen, and we just need to be a bit supportive to everyone. We have it's just very early in our journey together, and we need to try to continue building up, and those games should make us better.
Were you concerned by the number of kind of basic mistakes, I'll term it as, maybe unforced errors that could have been dealt with better?
Well, I don't know if the word is concern. I think those things happen. As I said before, one thing is to play pre-season matches where the pressure is not there. You sometimes don't even play stadiums. Then then some learning points are there where you are playing in front of a crowd, at home or away, and you need to be the one that is expected to do the job and make it happen. So yesterday it was a very valuable experience for some of our players. And in order to evolve in life, you need to go through those difficult moments. Ideally, we will have the capacity and ability to make a rotation where less of them are getting their first chance or one of their first chances in the game, but we are not in that position. So things happen. We just need to support them and then be sure that they are growing. It's not fair for them, but it is what it is, and then we need to be strong in our approach.
Clearly, as a new manager, there is going to be time, and it will take some time for things to happen. But is there a lot of room for patience, development, when the club has the expectations that it has?
Well, we said in the very beginning, the expectation for the club is what it is, and then we just need to be sure that we are competitive every single game. I think the game on the weekend was one thing when we were not good enough in the transition, but we create and generate enough situations. The game yesterday was a completely different game with a rotation in the lineup and managing some minutes. Of course, we are in the beginning, but we also know that in this business, the long term sometimes is not existing. And then if you want to develop something in the long term, you need to win football matches now.
I know you touched on Dovydas Sasnauskas a little bit last night. You know, clearly there were a couple of errors in the first half, but were you pleased with how he came through that and in the second half showed a little bit more about what he's about?
Well, we need to understand that in the players' development, not only in the young players' development, the mistakes are going to be there, and the mistakes are going to cause you goals, points, or being out of the situation. I think it was too early in the game that always, even in the weekend, we concede the goal in the first 5 minutes, that we also need to be more robust on that. But Dobby is a young, talented player, and we need to support him. Unfortunately, we cannot give him a better net to just be the only one, or together with another one, just to develop and perform in those kind of games. And as I say, those things happen. I have been in there in the past with players like Tyler Bindon, that those mistakes 2 years ago for us, and they end up being great players. The thing is that the expectation is so big that those mistakes are magnified right now. We just need to remain calm with those boys and keep supporting them, because until we get any new players, they will need to continue growing to be able to give us some more depth.
There was a bit of footage shared last night that I saw around Jack Robinson, who'd just been booked, and he was really in the face of some of the officials. Clearly, the last thing you need right now is your captain and your main centre-half getting sent off in a game. Is that a worry at all in terms of that? Because you've just talked about cool heads and people being around that you need to see that from your senior players?
Well, I think sometimes it's difficult also to contain your emotions in that moment. And Jack, in those moments, and I'm pretty sure I have not talked to him about those things, that he would like to remain a little bit more calm in that space. I think that it comes from a couple of errors that even the yellow card, I think, is too rush. I think the situation doesn't go in that way. But yeah, it is what it is. I think right now we are in a period where we are still looking for ourselves, everyone, as individual and as a team, just to be sure that what we really are, and that we are really competitive. And then sometimes those emotional things can happen. We just need to be sure that we don't repeat it, and it's not only for him, it's for anyone else.
A highlight last night was clearly the goal from Gus Harmer, which just underlines his quality and his importance to the team, wasn't it? It must have been one of the best goals that someone on one of your teams has ever scored.
Yeah, I think it's a moment of brilliance on that. Obviously, we know that Gustavo is that talented player that can make the difference in the moments that you need. And I think in that moment we needed a lot, and it was a genius moment. We just need to work, not only for him, for our players that can make the difference, to put them in the positions that they can perform and do it. Not every day we are going to be in the position to score a goal from 55 meters.
I suppose one of the things that people look at with kind of concern around players going out is that him doing something like that makes him even more appealing to people. But you want your quality players to be doing things like that, don't you?
Yeah, I think Gustavo was arguably one of the best, and they nominated the best player in the league last season. I think we have quality players on the building. We just need to put the pieces together now after 2 disappointed games, every game in a different way, and move forward. We have 48 hours to be ready for a new game that is going to be a difficult game against a good opponent, that especially St. Salans took it over last season. They have been very, very aggressive and very, very clear in what is their identity, and we just need to be sure that we show on Saturday with the competitiveness and the willingness to win the game and be as competitive as our opponent.
You've already touched on the need for reinforcements and how much, particularly in the defensive area. Is there any update on that? Is there any reason why it maybe is taking Sheffield United a little longer than other teams to get players in this month?
Well, I think our process has not been good enough. That is, I think it's obvious. In the beginning of the market, we talk about reinforcement with 3 players. Now with Anel and Kiefer gone, it's 5 players. We have not been able to bring anybody else for different circumstances, and on that everyone has part of it, as I will accept my part of it, but everyone in that part of the process. And it's not going to be any update for the weekend, so we are now in less than 24 hours. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock is the deadline, and nobody is there just to make the medical or be supportive for us. So that is what it is. We are not going to make excuses. We are going to just focusing what we can do. We know the players that can go on Saturday and then make the difference, and my focus is going to be on them from now until after the game.
I know there's been talk about visas and potentially maybe players going out for others to come in. Is that one of the reasons why things have been delayed at the minute?
Yeah, there is one of them. We knew that we don't have any GB spot, and then we need to make room if we want to have someone from that requests the GBE, and that will be a little part of it.
Do you feel let down maybe is a little bit of a strong term, but in terms of the resources that you've been given to start the season and where you've got with the players that have gone out?
I just feel that I have a task to do, and I have been in situations worse like this one, and I need to be brilliant, and my team needs to be brilliant to try to be competitive in 48 hours. That's my feeling. I don't want to think about anything else. Don't want to waste my time if just feeling sorry for myself or if the things can go different. It is what it is. I have done that in the past, and I'm here to do that. Whatever it is thrown to me, I just play with what it is. I just need that my team is fully support on Saturday, but our fans need everyone that is in that pitch to be competitive, as I'm sure they're going to be. And when the difficult times come, we will be there, and we will be there in front of everyone, just trying to fight for every single inch and play the game. So that's what I really need, not feel sorry for myself.
In terms of the players that you'll hope will come over the next couple of weeks, do they need to be championship ready? Like, you've got a lot of young players from the squad, young players that have come in that are clearly talented people, but do you need people kind of ready to go at this level right now? Yes,
absolutely. That has been, we lost a lot of experience in the level, and we need to replace that experience in the level with experience in the level. If there is a room for a young talented player, we will need to analyze the situation, but the main thing is to get players that can make an immediate impact and support the players that are already in the building.
Do you feel that the squad you've got right now is capable of playing the ideal way that you want to, or might you have to look at assessing things, reassuring things at the back before you look for that ideal?
Yeah, absolutely. We need to adjust for sure. That is one thing is that the principles and values that you have, that is, I don't think that should change your way to do things, because I'm here for a reason, and I'm here because the things that we have done in the past. But of course, you need to adjust when the situation is not ideal in terms of what we are living right now. So for sure, I need to, as I say, that they need to be even more brilliant to give my players even more clear situations for them to perform instead to overcomplicate things.
And I suppose the first appearance of Jibril Samare last night will give some encouragement to that. Somebody that can maybe protect a little bit more as he gets used to English football.
Yeah, I think he's a holding six. He can play along. He can play with another player around him. He's athletic. He can cover the pitch. He showed yesterday some of his abilities and qualities, and that's why we signed him. We just obviously needed to be careful about his first experiences with us, because he didn't play matches before he arrived with us in this pre-season. We saw yesterday a little bit of him. Hopefully we'll see more in the coming games.
In terms of injuries, etc., is there anybody else missing this weekend that we're not expecting to be there?
No, there is not any update. So everyone is fit. Everyone that was ready to participate, or even the ones that were not in the game yesterday, were for my decision. So everyone should be ready to go. Besides the Oliver Blaster, Jamie Shackleton, and Tom Davis.
In terms of Swansea, you've touched on them a little bit already. A kind of new era for them in a way. Alan Sheehan came in at the end of last season. He's done quite well over the course of the two. What are you expecting from the matchup and how this game might go?
Well, I expect a very difficult match. We were last season there with Hull, and they were the team with most success in their high pressure in the 13 games that Alan was there. The team with the highest number of counter press. The team that was was a lot of time in the opposition half, and that is the identity that Alan has given to them. I think that is ultra competitive, that never give up, and that is, I think, very difficult to play, and that's what we can expect on Saturday.
How big would a win be right now, just for everyone, just to kind of change the narrative, change some of those frustrations, give you something to build from?
that was we are gonna fight with everything we have just to get that first win of the season and to do it with the fans that are gonna be with us in that stadium. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be difficult. There's gonna be some very difficult moments on that game, but we have the ability and the capability to do it.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.